Who am I? A question I'm sure lots of us want to know. Now, it's not easy figuring out who you are, right? We all think, oh, well, I'm this, and I'm this. Now, I don't quite yet know who I am, but I have a good idea of who I am so far. Throughout the 18 years of my life, I have gathered up memories, some good, some bad, and that's just how it be. But sometimes you need to sit back, look up into the sky, and think, who really are you? So today, in this video, I'm going to be figuring out who I am. Now, my name is Merrick Gordon Gavell. I'm 18 years old. I just graduated from high school. I'm a lifeguard and I day trade. Today, I'm not going to be talking about day trading. Obviously, it's an intro video, but I will be talking about who I am. So, I won't go through the entire life story of Merrick Gordon Gavell, but I'll go through from grade 9 on, because I think that's what matters most, is when you're a young teen going into a young adult, all right? So, in grade 9, I struggled a lot, okay? I made some friends. Some of them are still my friends to this day. God bless them. But yeah, grade 9 was just really hard for me because, I was transitioning. I felt like lots of people didn't like me, and that's okay. People don't have to like you. You just need to like yourself and need to know deep down within you that you're a good person. I feel like I'm a good person. There are days where I'm like, I can do better, and I know I can. But that doesn't really matter. Because what matters is you putting in the work and trying to be better every day, even if it's only a little bit, right? I've struggled with high functioning depression since grade 9. I tried antidepressants and they don't work. I would not suggest going on any type of medication if you're struggling from a mental illness, unless it's like schizophrenia. But obviously, I'm not a doctor, so just my personal experience. Medication's not good for you. You can take so many other natural ways to make yourself feel better and to kind of grow into the person who you want to be. So we're going to skip grade 10 because I don't really have a lot from grade 10, to be quite honest. Grade 11 is when things got tricky for me. My health was in terrible condition. My mental state was in terrible condition. I hated going to school. Just a lot of, negative feelings surrounding me. And it took a while for them to leave. I would say about 6 months ago from today is when I finally started to feel good about myself, you know, started to enjoy my life more, one may say. Sorry, I don't mean to make this depressing. That's just how it was for me. I just, I don't know. I like being alone. It's very peaceful being alone. Obviously, I like people, but being alone is just very calming, and I can really, understand who I am and feel like, hey, you need to change this and whatever. And even then, I'll be like talking to myself and I'll be like, okay, some of the things you do wrong are, you smoke too much weed, or you still vape and you probably shouldn't vape, and like, you need to be less addictive to whatever it is in your life, right? So in my case, it was weed. nicotine, and sex. Those are the things that I was addicted to. I wouldn't say that I'm addicted to weed anymore. I still smoke weed, but it's very easy for me to just not smoke weed. I'd say vaping is quite, sorry, mosquitoes. I'd say vaping is quite a difficult thing for me. Um, if you vape and you're in high school, try to cut that shit out. It's not good for you. And if you say, oh, it's for my anxiety, it's for my whatever, it makes it worse, right? If you need to rely on something for your anxiety, then the chances are, oh, if you don't have your vape and you feel anxious, you're just going to be more anxious and whatever. So I suggest doing things that make you happy, finding hobbies, okay? For me, I like to go to the gym somewhat. I like to golf a lot. Not very good, but I do like to golf. Um, as I said, I day trade, and really, I just find things throughout my day to do. Um, sometimes I find myself just sitting in my room, laying in my room all day, and just doing nothing. And those are really the most difficult days for me, is when I don't know what to do and I'm just lost. Um, but sometimes you need to be lost in order to find what you're missing, I guess. Um, I'll go back to last summer. So, last summer I got out of a relationship and it was pretty rough. So, I went to Kelowna and I lived with my best friend for the summer, right? That was the best summer I've experienced in my entire life, but for the wrong reasons, okay? I would constantly have fun. I would constantly chase women. I would constantly drink, etc., right? It was just a dopamine rush for the entire summer. And I wasn't really focusing on what I needed to do. But in that summer, God also happened to bless me with something amazing. Okay. I was like, God, I'm lost. I don't know what to do with my life. You know, we all go through the stages where we're like, do I really want to keep going? Okay. And there's lots of times where I just don't want to keep going, but I'm still here. And I'm very blessed for that. I'm blessed for my family and my friends and all the people who have kept me here. And if you don't have family or friends, then talk to the Lord. All right. It might seem silly to a lot of you, but I can confirm He is real. And you should do your best to build a connection with Him. Now, I kind of sound like a hypocrite saying that because I know that I can have a much better relationship with God. I find myself struggling to consistently be with God. I feel like I'm always being attacked, and it's hard to stay obedient to Him. Okay, um, and I've been working on it, just like I've been working on a lot of things. But the main story of this is you need to believe in yourself in order to change things, and you need someone to either be with you helping you through it, or you need someone, aka a higher power, spiritual power, to help you through it. Okay. So God blessed me with trading, and I came back to my hometown, Swift Current, Saskatchewan. I don't like this place very much for a lot of reasons, but we'll just leave it at that. So I came back to my hometown so that I could finish my last grade 12 semester, or kind of. Um, I would dread my life every day going to school, but I always had the thought in the back of my mind, just keep pushing through it. You'll get through it. You'll make it out. You'll be all right. And you'll be able to day trade and you'll be able to move and whatever, right? And I had unrealistic expectations, okay, and unrealistic timelines, okay? I told myself that I need to make 60K in 6 months in order to move to Kelowna. Now, in trading, it is realistic to do 60K in 6 months, right? It's not, in trading terms, that's not very hard, but trading in a general is very hard. So I would wake up, trade, eat breakfast, go to my classes, go home, and then I wouldn't really do anything. I would try to find things to do, but I was just stuck in a loop, right? I was undisciplined and just not doing the things that I knew I should be doing and not doing the things that would benefit me, right? So that went on for quite some time. And now we are currently in July. No, I'm clearly not in Kelowna. And no, I clearly do not have 60 grand to my name. But I've realized that it doesn't matter because everything is done with God's timing. All right. I'm slowly building myself to be the person who I want to become. And I want to be able to clearly say who I am. But for right now, I don't know who I am. I'm just here and I'm trying to become the person who I want. And hopefully that person who I want to be aligns with God and who God wants me to be. But for right now, I'm just enjoying life, trying to go day by day, just going through the motions, trying to stay disciplined with trading and just like my general eating habits, gym, that type of stuff. And it's not easy. Um, you know, social media like makes a lot of things look easy, but that's because they don't show the back end of it. They don't show the amount of hours people have put into doing the things that they want in order to get to there, right? And if you're watching this and you are a day trader, no matter how many YouTube videos you watch, no matter how much money you spend on a course, no matter how many one-on-one mentorships you have, it will not make you a better trader. The only way for you to become better at trading is to sit in front of a screen for hours and hours and hours and hours and figure out what's actually happening. You need to be there every day and you need to discipline yourself. And you need to have the psychology to, one, not take trades, two, to have good risk management, and three, don't fuck yourself over. All right. Speaking from experience, I have fucked myself over numerous times. Okay. I was 17 and I bought my first funded account. It was an Alpha 100K account. Okay. I passed the account and I was on the funded stage. Okay. I thought, oh, this is going to be the best of all time. So what I did was I took a picture of my mom's ID and her passport, and then I scanned my mother's face, right? Over the next 4 days, I built up $17,910 on it. I was 1 day away. I just needed a $100 winning day, and I would have been fine. However, Alpha has pretty good terms of service, okay, and scam or fraud, right? So I was 1 day away from claiming this payout, and they emailed me saying that there was a scam, because as I was taking the photos of my mother's ID and her passport and then handing the phone to her, it caught a glimpse of my face. All right. So right in that moment, it was like $17,000 is just poof out the window. All right. And I took it pretty well, to be honest. I didn't, lose my shit or kill myself, clearly, because I'm still here. But it was a good lesson. So I just waited until I turned 18. And then I got more funded accounts, specifically Lucid. And I had 5 of them because I was saving money for it. I passed 3 of them. I was 1 day away from getting a payout on 3 accounts for $2,500. And what do you think I did? On the last day, I lost a trade. All right. I needed $100, just $100 in a trade. So I'm like, okay, it's whatever. I can just make it back and I'll be fine. I'll have my payouts. And that would have been life-changing for me, okay? But I lost a trade and I'm like, no. I know the market. I know what it's going to do. I'm just going to, keep look for another entry, right? And I did something called marrying your bias. So if you're new to trading, only trade discretionary. Don't make a bias before going into the day. Well, you can make a bias, but don't stick to it if certain things happen, right? So discretionary means if this, then that, right? So if this happens, then I'll take shorts. If this happens, then I'll take longs, correct? But I was married to my bias, and I took 3 losing trades in a row, and I blew all 3 of my funded accounts. That one rocked me, and I have many videos of me losing my mind and just saying, why God, right? But you can get through it. You just need to stay strong. Stay strong, soldier. You need to just keep going at it every day, not give up, and eventually, through God's timing, He will reward you, okay? It's often said you can have faith the size of a grain of salt to move mountains, all right? It feels like that with me. It feels like my faith should be a lot stronger than it is. But even with how little faith I have, I can move mountains. Now, I'm not saying that I don't believe that Jesus died on the cross for our sins. I 100% believe that. And I do have strong faith that that did happen. But that enough is that enough is my question. Now, lots of people will say yes, but for me personally, I don't think it is. I just don't like giving it half-ass, I guess. All right. I want to fully commit to something. And I'm like that with a lot of things, okay? I'm like that with relationships. I'm like that with, things I'm really passionate about. And I think that's one of my strongest traits, is that if I really enjoy something, I will work my hardest to be able to be the best I can at it, okay? Now, I'm not the best at anything, but I'm really good at a lot of things. And I think that is such a blessing, to be able to be good at so many things. Okay. We're gonna stop talking about trading, because that's really not what this video is about. It's about who I am. I'll go over my health conditions, because I'm sure a lot of you have awful health conditions and you're like, oh, I don't know what to do. This is so annoying, blah, 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 right? So I have POTS and vagovasal syncope. So pretty much POTS, it just, simplest terms, it makes you pass out. That's how I can describe it. And then vagovasal syncope just means the blood pools to my legs and something's wrong with my vagus nerve. I was trying to figure out these answers for about 4 years. I all of a sudden just got sick out of nowhere and just constantly struggled with my health, right? Um, but over time, we figured it out, and now I know what to do with my diet, the amount of salt I have to intake, because I have to intake like a lot of salt to retain blood, and just overall be more active. Okay, I could, oof, I could have better cardio. I should be doing more cardio. That would greatly benefit me. I just don't like cardio, and I'm lazy most days, but that's okay because I just need to slowly work at it, and then I'll love running and I'll love cardio, right? So being able to train your brain to like things that you used to not like is a great thing. I used to not like how flat Saskatchewan is. But now sitting here, being able to look for miles and miles and miles and have a pretty sunset behind me is pretty all right. Um, I used to not like large groups of people. I still kind of don't, but I'm able to go up to large groups of people and try to have a conversation now, which is a good thing, obviously. I'd say if you're introverted, the best thing you can do is just try to talk to strangers. Um, Obviously, very difficult because you don't know who they are, but it is very beneficial. With that being said, I don't have much else to say. Um, Thank you for watching, and I hope you all have a blessed day, or night, or afternoon. Thank you so much.